Great people, welcome back to Global Happenings today. We're so excited to have you again. The fight between Nduka Obiagbena's Arisetv and these days newspaper with Bola Ahmed Tinubu campaign team is becoming very petty and would I say messier by the day. Reactions have trailed the whole story as Nigerian top politicians are reacting, and most of the reactions are actually in favor of Arise TV, saying that they have all the right, to say anything that will give Nigerians full knowledge about who Bola Ahmed Tinubu is. And the whole show is quite unfavorable to Bola Ahmed Tinubu's team. But guess what? They have refused to cower out, but they have decided to react to what Arise TV and this day board of editors have to say to Nigerians. And you're going to hear full details of what I will consider to be a bombshell on Nduka obaigbena and this day Arise news management. And according to the full statement that was released, it was termed, it said Nduka Obiagbena and his this day Arise news hypocritical grandstanding on public morality. And according to them, they said it is laughably tragic that the chairman and editor-in-chief of This Day and Arise News Television, Mr. Nduka Obaigbena, has the temerity to pretend to be a guardian of public morality in contemporary Nigerian media practice. The fact that this character is an unscrupulous hustler and blackmailer who has done tremendous damage to the journalism profession in the country is well known within and beyond the profession. Hiding under his media house's so-called board of editor Obaigbena, who is one of the most irresponsible media owners in the country with scant regard for corporate good governance and ethics, issued a statement Monday accusing the All Progressive Congress APC Presidential Campaign Council PCC Director of Media and Publicity Mr. Bayo Onanuga and Advisor Media and Communication Mr. Dele Alake of attempting to silence independent media and bully the press ahead of the next year's general election. This allegation is baseless. The statement published on the front page of This Day is illustrative of the penchant of the two media houses under Obaigbena's corrupting influence to peddle falsehood and engage in brazen political partisanship contrary to the ethics of journalism practice. It is instructive that Obaigbena Media Group is isolated in making their frivolous allegation against the duo. Not only does this day newspaper publish unfounded rumors masquerading as true, many of its columnists substitute vile and vulgar abuse for sound logic and informed analysis, while its television anchors heckle and harass their guests, particularly those of the APC, in their jaundiced, flagrantly unprofessional programs. Oh my God. They went further to say, we recall that both This Day and Arise Television sought to bully and compel the APC presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, into attending its town hall meeting with presidential candidates, despite the media's team explanation that it would not attend such programs organized in a haphazard and uncoordinated manner by individual media houses. Each candidate's campaign team has the right to adopt its own strategy for reaching out to and interacting with Nigerians. As we have repeatedly said, the Tinubu campaign will not succumb to the blackmail, intimidation, and harassment of Obaigbena and his media group. These days attempt in the said statement to justify its false news report on the purported death of one Muez Adegboyiga Akande and attempts to insinuate mischievously that he died in suspicious circumstances failed abysmally. Rather than apologize for these professional lapses, it resorted to tendentious rationalization, its futile attempt to link Asiwaju Tinubu to a drug case in the United States, even when, as far back as 2003, the United States government had categorically stated that the candidate has no criminal record in that country, shows the depth of mischief the newspaper is willing to discern in its bid to bring down the APC candidate at all costs. This campaign of calumny is doomed to fail as it always has. Our candidate is focused and will not be distracted by these diversionary tactics to throw mud at him simply because he is the obvious front runner in this race, and some believe that the only way to stop him is to peddle falsehood against him. While pretending to be a public trust, this day on Arise TV descend into the public or political arena by publishing lies in a way that does such a great disservice to journalism. Last month, the paper was sanctioned by NBC over a false report that INEC has ordered a probe of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu over the platform equally fake narrative about our candidate. Nuka obaigbena tries to cast aspersion on the professional and personal integrity of Mr. Lake and Mr. Onanuga. They stand on a higher moral and professional pedestal than he can ever aspire to. It is astonishing that a man like Obaigbena can even pretend to be protecting public morality and the public interest. How does this media owners run his media outfit? He is notorious for not paying the salaries of his staffs or failing his pension obligation, forcing most of the journalists in his stable to resort to the most unethical practice to survive. This model of media practice, which he exported to South Africa in 2003 and 2004, failed spectacularly as he had to flee that country as a result of his unethical business practice. His short-lived this day left unpaid debt to staff and the printers and the South African tax office. He exported the same irresponsible business practice to the UK, where he operated his Arise TV as a registered company since 2012. In 2021, Judge Raquel Agnello disqualified Obaigbena from serving as a company director in the UK for 7 years in a case brought by the official receiver of the insolvency office in the country. The application for disqualification was made under Section 6 of the Company Directors Disqualification Act 1986 and arose from the compulsory liquidation of Arise Network Limited, of which Obaigbena was the sole director since its incorporation. According to the judgment, the company by 2016 had garnered a total debt of 25,671,167 pounds. I'll take that again. He said, according to the judgment, the company by 2016 has garnered a total debt of 25,671,167 pounds, which included debt to trade creditors and staff estimated at 5,850,730 pounds. Judge Agnello found Obaigbena's conduct as sole director of Arise TV to be unfit, and that the company has continued to trade despite complete uncertainty about its funding. In Nigeria, Obaigbena is notorious for owing his staff's salaries. He is also notorious for owing newsprint suppliers for years without payment. This sharp practice led to the ill health of one of his suppliers, Afilaka, who suffered massive stroke. While Alaka and Onanuga were known to have endangered their lives in the struggle against military dictatorship and the enthronement of the democracy we enjoy today, Obaigbena was known to have collected a substantial sum of money from the military junta to campaign against the June 12, 1993 election, widely acknowledged as the freest and fairest poll in the country's history. He even featured on the CNN to justify the annulment of the election and the continuation of military dictatorship Yet, this man dared to preach on public morality and the national interest. He even claimed that Alake and Onanuga are envious of him. How preposterous! What is there to be envious from a man whose business practices and personal lifestyle offend every known decency? Mr. Lake and Onanuga can never be jealous of a man using extortion, subterfuge, and cheap blackmail as his working capital. Here is a publisher who deploy his media group in aid of immoral and illegal presidential ambition of a sitting governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, even when this flagrantly violated and threatened the integrity of the critical institution. It is absurd when Obaigbena uses his media outfit to push the false narrative of Tinubu's link with narcotics in the US when a member of his board of the editors and Arise TV anchor Dr. Reuben Abati was a running mate in 2019 to a governorship candidate of the PDP in Ogun State, the late Senator Buruji Kashamu, a man who has been indicted for narcotic traveling or trafficking in the US and was a fugitive from the law of that country until his death. The same Abati remains a card-carrying member of the PDP and yet shamelessly pontificates and posture on Arise TV as a dispassionate analyst. Lest it be forgotten, Abati was media advisor to former President Goodluck Jonathan and was detained by the Economic and Financial Crime Commission (EFCC) in 2015 for reportedly collecting 500 million naira from ex-National Security Advisor Colonel Sambo Dansuki, purportedly on behalf of the media. Obaigbena himself was detained for weeks and made to refund 600 million naira by EFCC, which was part of the diverted funds for armed purchase for the Nigerian military under Jonathan. Obaigbena, as president of MPA and also collecting millions of naira meant as compensation for the media owners whose papers were seized by overzealous security agents during the Jonathan presidency. Many newspapers reported that they did not get the money. It is sad commentary on the state of the Nigerian media that a man with no moral scruples whatsoever like Obaigbena will boldly pose as a publisher who can preach morality to others. Here is a man who has done such grave damage to media practice in Nigeria, posturing as defender of free speech. Unless media practitioners begin to treat him like the plague and cancer he constitutes to the industry, the future of the industry will be endangered. It is well known that many private sector corporate executives pay him huge sums of money as retainership to avoid being blackmailed by him. It is also a pity that many of the journalists who work as his employees pose as self-righteous saints who criticize others and keep mum on the unhidden moral deficit and shenanigans of their boss. This was issued by Dele Alake and Bayo Onanuga on behalf of APC Media and Communication Directorate. I mean, this is this one is a bombshell, I'm telling you. And we are expecting to see reaction from Obaigbena to this. I don't know why all of these are coming at this time, but however, is a pointer to the fact that there is more about this fracas between these two personalities. Let's go to our comment section. What's your position on all